Three, two, and here we go. Here we go. We are live. We are
15
live.
minutes.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I think my camera's lagging. My camera lagging?
Well,
You went back. You're going back and forth
yeah, it's
between
going back and
your
forth.
live. You're all
Maybe
right
this
now.
one's a little better. There we go.
Yeah, better.
Camera's here. All right. Let me say my hellos to everybody, everybody in the club getting tipsy.
You
All
went
right.
back.
Goldberg, how you doing? Yoshi, what's good? Alejandro, I said that like I was Latin. Alma, Ilago, what's going on, sis? Rain, hello. Johnny Mariano, what's going on? You know, I'm supposed to put these things on. My extra eyes. Sunshine. Chooch, we need to lock him out of this one. He's a real pain.
Yeah, that guy's a crazy motherfucker.
What's going on, fam? What's going on? Alma. I want Alma to be in our chat group. She used to be a steward in New York as well. I believe she was Alma, who were you under? I think she was under Cruz. Yeah, Cruz.
Hamza, what's up, Hamza?
Goldberg, Leandria, hello, Carlos. He wants to buy his CCA time. I get it. I get it. All right. So this evening, Jay's gonna kind of sit back and pick my nose a little bit. I got some Postal Familia from up top. I love to hear them talk because they from New York. You know what I mean? Where the pizza's great. I have to throw the pizza in there. These gentlemen are going to be part of a slate as backups. You know what? I'm going to let them talk about it. They are prospective hopefuls, and they're going through a voting process right now in Nueva York. That was my Latin. You heard that? I said it.
That sounds good.
That was pretty good.
Beautiful.
And we're just going to throw a couple little softball questions at you to let people know that they actually have a nice diverse group of individuals that are representing all New Yorkers, because in New Yorkers, there is no prejudice. We either like you or hate you all, right?
That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right. So
Philly's got that problem too.
Talk to me. What's lady? What branch you guys out of?
Branch 36.
36, yes.
6. All right. So tell me a little bit about what y'all do and why you do what you do when you do what you do. Who want to talk? They're a little nervous.
Well, I could start. Everything started 3 years ago. We were, communicating. We were unhappy with the current administration that we believe they really, abandoned the carriers. In my opinion, carriers, they're not being educated. They're not being informed. One of the reasons is because, as we agree and we campaigning, is that when was the last time they were able to make it to a meeting, and they don't know what's going on. It's like, to me, purposely it's been done to keep them in the dark. 3 years ago, I find out that, believe it or not, I've been 33 years in the post office. I never knew there was an election in the branch. So as a youth member, was able, if you wanted, you could run in a position and be able to get, to one of the executive positions if you want to make a difference, if you feel that you want to be part of that, and as a member in good standing, you have the right. And not only me, when I was, get together with the group and I was helping out, I found out a lot of people that had a lot of years too, maybe 15, 20 years, that they didn't know there was an election. So to me, that was like a conspiracy, keeping people ignorant. When they're ignorant in the dark, they don't know. So that's one of the motivations. You know what? We need to educate people. We need to let people know, information so they know, who is representing their interests. You understand? And this current membership is not representing the interests of the interests of the carriers. That's one of the reasons I'm joining this group. That's a commitment we need to the carriers. Maintain the carriers educated, informed, and to make them understand that they need to be part of the process. At least we inform and with this, a reason to vote. They need to vote whether for a contract, whether for an election to elect a new elected official on the membership. They need to be part of it.
Nice. Chooch, what you got for them?
All right. I guess kind of spitfire first question would be, would you say that people are motivated to follow you? You say that the people that you're looking to get on board, do you guys feel like that they're motivated to follow you? Or
Yes.
is that an uphill battle at this point? Are they ready to listen to you guys?
From what I'm hearing, a lot of people are very upset and disappointed with the current administration, and they don't feel the confidence anymore of how it used to be. Like Wilson said, years ago, people were what's the word I want to say? Were more believable of the union. They had more respect and more confidence in the union. We don't have that anymore.
Why do you think so? Why is it? I know Wilson kind of, touched on it a little bit. Why do you feel like they lost confidence? You think it's because of what's going on a national level? But I kind of got a backstory about what goes on, at your place. And it kind of disappointed me because I'm thinking like, I always big up New York and I'm like, man, they got the greatest unions there, Chicago, major cities. And then heard what's going on at y'all branch. I was a little shocked. What do you think the reason is for that?
I could share something a little bit. I believe people, they willing to follow us because they agree we've been abandoned. Like for example, these count and inspection routes. I know we lost some of the first class value mail, but we picked up in packages. Okay. And we losing route left and right in many stations. People are losing their assignments. Okay. So, in my station, I got a carrier that lost his assignments. And there was a lot of violation. They violated the M39. And I pulled the grievances together. I did my part at the shop store level, the informal. We push it up. The formal level did his part. And that was almost 2 years ago. And we have no answer.
Jesus.
Or what happened? So what kind of representation we have? And we don't have the current administration really fighting for the interests of the carriers. And it's not just happening in my station, it's happening in other stations. So people, they open up in the eyes and say, they're not doing anything for us. You understand? So we are bringing it to the highlight, why, we losing so many routes and the current administration is not fighting hard enough management about those route inspections to not to lose the routes the way we're losing it. Okay, why are not they having meetings at 5 o'clock in the afternoon downtown Manhattan?
There it goes.
When at 5 o'clock, most of the carriers they still deliver mail, and I think it's done purposely to keep you ignorant, to keep you in the dark. Why not? I mean, we paying union dues every pay period. Why not, pay the Zoom meeting? So everybody, while they're delivering mail, while they're driving back home, while they're making dinner to the kids, they could listen to the meeting. They could get informed. And if they have any concern, they could ask a question. They did it while the pandemic. Well, there was a lot of people asking questions. I guess they felt challenged. But I guess they didn't like it. So they stopped it. You understand? And those are the things that people are waking up, and I think they agree with us that there's a change needed. And I truly feel comfortable that we have a good chance to make a change in branch 36 for the good of the carriers.
I also feel that the current union members, they just don't want to help anymore because we keep asking them for help. They're tired of this and that, all the questions that are coming to them, and when you call them, they tell you that they'll call you back. Like when I was a CCA, I try to find out what position I'm in, when I'm turning regular, this and that, but they just come back with I'll call you guys, I'll call you back.
Hmm. What you think about
That
that, Juge? What you
that's
got?
that's infuriating to me. You know, again, I've explained. I told the guys before we started that my particular branch, my local, not nearly as large and crazy, you know, in terms of going from A to B, New York City, compared to where I'm at, out in the burbs of Philly. Our meetings start at 7:30. We have full Zoom access for anybody who wants to be on, and that was through COVID, and it continues until this day. And it's not going away because I made a point to say that people need to have the Zoom access. So 7:30 p.m. works out pretty good for everybody. Some people are rolling in their uniforms if they're coming in person. Some people are on camera still in their uniforms. But as of late, this, you know, me who's worked continuously 6-day work weeks, forced, you know, whether I wanted it or not, just the last 2 years, you know, we would not be making those meetings half the time because we'd be out working. Now they've really cut back on overtime. It's starting to
Yeah.
really like dry up. I'm not sure how noticeable that is from area to area. It looks like Andy's nodding his head like, "Yep, that's what's happening." So while
Today,
that, yeah, go
today I
ahead.
did 2 pivots, and they wanted me back in 8 hours.
Mm-mm,
Mm,
mm-mm, mm-mm,
New York
mm-mm.
City, New York
Yeah,
City.
New York City, Upper
Oh,
What?
West Side.
Wow,
do it
man.
once, they don't want you to do it again. No, don't ever do it.
It's not free, right?
No,
Mm.
no. See, this is a double-edged sword. You've got management that is being, you know, again, whether you might have a half a decent rapport with the people that are in your station with you, which I clearly don't. I don't know if you ever heard my stories yet, but yeah. And then you have the POOM and you have the district manager. Guys, if you got able to hear a conference call or one of these telecons just by chance of somebody leaving a speakerphone on when they shouldn't have,
Yeah.
in my, I don't know, like, you know, again, it's unfucking believable how inhumane and disgraceful it is to hear what they are supposed to do to us. Again, they're paid. You say they're paid to manage. We're paid to carry. They're not paid to manage. They're paid to create chaos, to create animosity between
Live it,
each other.
live it.
They are they are fully on board. And then you have your unions basically saying, "I'll call you back," and they and that's where you're left. So while I have my, you know, local support and, you know, I am making myself constantly voicing the idea that we need to keep the communication open, the Zooms need to stay where they are. It still is an uphill battle to get people newer, that those that are newer, you know, that's an uphill battle. But I can say that in my station, we're all PTF. They all started PTF now. There's no more CCA. That's been a plus to say that if your station maybe saw that CCAs did not work out and the retention rate was insanely low, like, I mean, in the Philly district, it was 300 out of 3,000 people that were retained, 10%. But I mean, that's insane to only hold on to that many people. So
Got a question.
that's where we're at. Um,
Question
Jay,
for him. Um, being that
go
y'all
ahead.
are stepping into this role, you clearly, Mr. Wilson, after all these years, um, what has been the biggest challenge or the motivating factor behind all of you saying, yes, I want Andy as my brother. Yes, I want Orlando as my brother. Yes, I want. How did, what made you say, you know what? Enough is enough. These guys are the guys that I want on my team, and that we're going to coexist and work together and try to lead this into a new light. What was it that changed each of you? How about you,
Okay.
Orlando?
It was the complaints of all the carriers, just constantly complaining about the. Okay, we had a CNI done about 2.5, 3 months ago, And that's when they come and they observe the routes and try to condense the routes into, let's say, if we have 20 routes, they try to make it into 15 routes, and they add more to the route. So what happened was the week that they came, for some strange reason, the volume dropped
All the mail
tremendously.
disappeared.
Disappeared.
Mhm.
We had no
Great
mail.
time.
We had 8-hour days.
It's a disgrace.
It was crazy. We had downtime.
Yep.
We had standby time. We never had that. Once they left, that Friday, once they left, the
Boom.
Friday, boom, all the mail
Hundred,
came.
hundreds of feet showed up. Hundreds
Right,
of feet of flats showed up.
Bunch of
right.
120
trays.
feet of flats. Yep, 120 feet of flats showed up
Yes,
after my 6-day
it was crazy.
inspection.
It was just crazy. Right. This is my second CNI. I've been in the post office 29 years. This is the second time they've done it.
Hmm.
And it was crazy. And everybody's complaining. We have stuff added to the route, and they still want us to maintain schedule. We added stuff to your route to do 8 hours worth of work, and you got 10 to 12 hours worth of mail. It's impossible. It's impossible.
So that's
And
why
this is
you
why,
decided we talk
yes,
about
to make
how
the
young.
change, yes, because people were complaining. I said, you know what, we have to do something. And Brian came to me and asked me if I mind wanted to be an officer, because in my station, I'm a safety officer. And I fight with management about all the safety hazards in the station. Nothing's done. I call the union, nothing. Nobody
Mm.
comes, nobody answers the calls, nothing. So I said, you know what? It's like Brian said, it's time for change. And it's time for change. We need to have people who are willing to work and make the post office experience a lot better for the new people coming in.
Yeah,
Exactly.
carrier's happier too.
Correct.
Andy, you seem a little bit younger, but still,
Yeah, I've
says
only
you
been in
enjoy
the
these.
post office for a little under 5 years. I started in 2020. I was a CCA and I turned over in 2022 of May. And I can see the difference, the way they treat CCAs and regulars. See, they still they'll still abuse you. They'll still have you do everything because you're not allowed to say no. So, and then once I turned over to regular, the management was just all on your case. Like they'll tell you to do this, do that, but at least I can say no.
True.
How about you, Mr. Wilson?
Well, you see, I've been around for a little longer, obviously, and also I've been a shop steward for a little while, and it's been a really a learning process. And one thing I could tell you is, for example, Brian, Carlton, Tyree. I've seen those guys the way they really fight, even the current administration for the interests of the carriers. And also, a lot of the CCAs that I've seen, they always recognize like Carter and Brian and how they really try to help the CCAs at the academy. How Tyree is always fighting for the CCAs. And when they came to me and they invited me because all the things that we all agreed that needs to be changed, I said, listen, this guy got integrity. They got a heart of a lion to fight for the carriers. They real soldiers, and they want to fight for the brother next to them, whatever it takes. And I said, this is the kind of if they fire me up, I said, you know what? I mean, anything that I need to do to make this thing happen and make sure that letter carriers get the respect of being truly fair. And there's a lot of issues that are going on in the stations, like the taxes environment that I was saying before. I've seen so many things. I put grievances, the way this managing and what's the name? Chuco. He was saying that how management trying to divide, we call it divide to conquer, you
Mhm.
know, and they create a tax environment. I remember when carriers back in the days, we used to have parties,
Yep.
or gathering, for
Yeah.
Christmas and Thanksgiving. We don't even do that no more because everything is so divided. So we need to find a way how to bring the morale in the station where people feel part of this family that they feel they wanted to come to work. They want to be part of this. I remember when I first started in the post office, they used to have a baseball team. You know, they wanted to form a volleyball team. You know,
Softball team.
we spend more
Basketball.
time sometimes
Mm.
in the office than in your own house. You understand? Why not? You know, you feel part of it. This is how you provide for your family. You understand? So I would love to bring back those days where the carriers feel like a family, that they want to be part of it, that they feel like they want to come to work, you know, and be one big team. But management have found a way how to destroy that, you know, how to break that up, like divide to conquer. So they have us all going like chicken without a head. You don't want to come to work. They've been making deals behind you. You as a shop steward, you want to represent and help a carrier. It goes right behind you and try to make a deal. I'm talking about a lot of the new people. That's the mentality they have. They don't have a unionism mentality. But I think we need to learn and find a way how to bring the young generation, like Andy, and bring them back into our family, you know, because they the future. I'm about to retire. Who knows? But next year, in 2 years, in 5 years, I don't know. I feel good. I think I got it. I still got it. But the whole thing is, you know, I hoping I still got a pension when I retire. So I need the young people to be able to maintain the post office so I could keep getting that check on my mailbox when I retire.
That's right. Well said. Well said.
I love that. Listen, just so the people that are just stepping in, there's a slate, a team that's running against the current slate right now. And basically we have them on at the moment just to share their personal reasoning as to why their slate should be nominated or voted for. When is the voting? It's currently going on, isn't that correct?
Yes.
And you have until what day? Tomorrow?
Monday's the count.
Well, yeah, Monday's the countdown.
Yeah.
You're gonna start counting the ballots.
It's impressive to see different age groups coming together, different generations coming together, saying that, you know what, at my specific union hall, enough is enough. And I've been telling everybody for a long time, if you don't like what you see at your specific union hall, change the culture. It's not a catchphrase, but you need to step in there. Chooch and I have had talks behind the scenes. He wasn't really involved in the union deep. Now he stepped in there and he's starting to try to put his foot in there. He's trying to infiltrate from within. I need a bunch of the young people to be just like Mr. Andy over here and finally, you know, get your head out your ass, start playing video games, unless you're playing against me.
I haven't played in a long time.
And try to do something so that Wilson can, you know, finally retire and enjoy some good times. You know, go to Orchard Beach and not have to deal with the foolery.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm just glimpsing at the comment section. Apparently, you guys are touching a lot of nerves right now, and a lot of people are identifying with what you're saying, which is a great thing. So for the people that are out there saying, this is part of what I'm going through, then what I'm going to do, Cam, I want you to email me, the poet, and I'm going to do another live tomorrow, and I'm going to have a call-in vent session. They're talking about calling in and venting. If we start the calling in, we'll be here till midnight. My purpose of this one was to let these gentlemen speak their piece, explain to everybody that there is a way that you collectively can bring people together, like-minded people. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the color, nationality, the weight, none of it. I believe you all have a young lady as well in there, right? It doesn't matter. I mean,
yes, we do.
You have to get everybody together, like-minded people, to step up and say, you know what? Enough's enough. You ain't got to be nasty and rebellious, but you got to start to want to make that change. Cam, if you give me email me. We'll chat behind the scenes, and tomorrow, we can make it a call-in session. All you got to do is start triggering all the carriers with the talk that these gentlemen are talking about.
Let me throw.
Call in.
Can I throw a question at let me throw a question at Andy, and I'll probably hit you guys all with the same question. How is your temperament when you are faced with management hitting you with that double pivot, and being back in 8? Do you nod your head and follow the assignment? Do you give any opposition? Do you keep your cool and try and do you realize that there is no bartering with these people? Where are you at with your temperament and how you handle a confrontational situation or something that is getting us worked up like we are right now with management, or say with a fellow union member who ain't on the same page with you at the very moment?
Well, when I first started this job, I was a little afraid of management because it's management.
Yes,
So,
sir.
right,
You
and
know
then
one, brother.
when they came up to me today asking for the pivot to do pivots, I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do? Should I take it? Should I not? But most of the time, I do take it just to be a nice guy. But when they get comfortable and they keep coming to
Yep.
ask
Keep coming back.
like again, like every day, it's just I'm just you know. Uh,
So
How do you deal with
the
them?
fact
You got a temper like me? Or what?
I don't. I don't really get mad that easily.
good for you. Good for
Better
you,
than
brother.
me.
Good for you. Now, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, in terms of like where I was compared to where I am now, I was a hothead. I was a hothead. I said, and all that heat that I'm bringing is essentially like I care about this place, and you're not
Right.
going to you're not going to bring me down to that level of ugliness. So, you think to yourself, well, by stating my point and staying stern to my belief, they're gonna say, oh well, he really cared. They really don't give a shit. It doesn't matter how long you've been there, doesn't matter how short you've been there. Everybody is lumped into the same asshole dressed in blue at this point. At least
Yep.
that's how I'm dealing with it. And again, the more opposition you've shown over the years, the more that I show my face on here, and maybe they see it, maybe they don't. Honestly, again, I say my piece on here, and then I go in and I do the work honestly and diligently, and I keep my cool way better than I used to. So as much as I know that people want to lose their mind sometimes and just go off, the main thing is to smile and file. Courtesy of my mailman Nick. He says that all the time, and he's only 4 seconds into the game, like you are, Andy. He's got about 4 or 5 years in, so he
Yeah.
knows, and he's got a good union following there in Chicago. They're looking out for their people there pretty well. So, yeah,
How about you,
Orlando.
Wilson?
Yeah,
Oh,
Wilson. Go ahead.
Orlando.
I'm sorry.
Either
Yeah.
or. Either or.
Either or.
I'm moving these screens around. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
Well,
I got
me or
screens here.
Orlando?
Yeah, take it, Wilson. Go ahead.
Well, I've been in the post office for a little longer.
A lot
and,
longer.
and I have learned, so I have more experience. I learned how to deal with that situation. So, I don't get angry. I might get upset inside of me because I know, it is not fair. Maybe the amount of work they wanted to give me in the amount of time they want me to get it done. But
Yep.
what I do, I use the tools I have available. And as an OGI, because I've been an OGI, I train a lot of the CCAs and even some of the carriers that have been there for a little while, because everybody learn at a different pace. So maybe they
Yes.
haven't got there yet. So when they've been asked to do X amount of workload in the unreasonable amount of time, I said, listen, this is what you need to do. You got to fill out a 3996. Request the time that you estimate is going to need. Let them decide if they're going to give you assistance or they're going to give you overtime. If they deny you, you just ask, let me get a copy. You go ahead, try to do your best. At least an hour before the time that you're supposed to be back, you send them a ring. You give them enough time for them to make a decision what they're going to do. But let them know, listen, I still have X, Y, and Z. I will not be able to complete this assignment the time that I was instructed. What do you want me to do? Put that on the board cord.
You guys communicate through your scanners.
Scanner.
Yeah, as to where my station is strictly cell phones, but it should be the scanners.
No cell
Cell
phone.
phones.
No. Let me correct myself. I do use my cell phone, but you know what I do? I don't trust them. So before I send the message, I take a picture of the tip
Picture.
that I sent.
Yep.
You know,
I
so
keep
it
everything.
happened to me once. The manager, my supervisor said, "Oh, because I brought some packages back." He said, "Why you came back? You never called me. You never gave me the opportunity to make a decision." And I said, "No, no, no. Listen, I got the picture right here on my cell phone. I sent you a text.
There you
That's
go.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So you got to cover yourself. That's how I handle it.
By them not using rims in my station, they said they only set themselves up to say, like, you didn't we don't have anything physically on that scanner besides the post office telling us in the morning that we made 22 billion in revenue. Other than that, there's no messaging sent out. Very rarely does it say anything except carriers that are going to be out past 7, which is a rarity. Please call back in. And so, again, that system hasn't been utilized anywhere near what it should be. But yeah, that's
technically they're supposed to use the tools that they have to communicate with us. That's the scanner.
Right.
I mean, they cannot force us or demand us to use the cell phones because they don't pay for our cell phone service.
Yeah, I'll say what it is. I'll say what it is. Is that you guys? How many total routes are you guys banging out in your station? How many total routes?
My station is not a big station. It's like 20 routes.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, the smaller station, like, ours is 15 routes. So it's like through all that time and all that new technology, which is imperfect at best. Oh, you're 600 feet away from you're standing right at the front door, and it says you're 600 feet away. So.
Yes.
All this, use of tech for discipline, it has not panned out once yet in my station. For as long as rims and as long as all of the scanning and all of the stationary, nothing has stuck because the tech is never going to be enough, in my eyes at least. They're trying to make it enough, but you need physical proof with your eyes, and maybe they have to take a recording with their cell phone to say, "Oh, I got the carrier sitting behind the donut shop for a half hour long." So that's the sadness of it all. Say you can't make anything stick. You bury these guys in grievances, and it's like you get nowhere. So it's just that them being pressed by the upper management to continually hound, and it just gets nowhere. So back to, I just want to make sure we get Orlando to answer also about his temperament. And how he dealt with situations with management.
Well, what I do is, like Wilson, I fill out a 96, and I let them know that if I can't make it, I'm gonna rim them. I'll send them a rims, like Wilson said, an hour before the time they gave me, instructed me to come back, and I let them know that I can't make it. And if they don't, usually they tell me to continue. It's very rare my station will tell you to come back with the mail. Very rare.
Yeah,
Unless it's like
we're not
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. But yeah, and I just send them, and then they just tell me to finish my assignment and come back. I finish my assignment, I come back. And
so
I have
nothing
no
gets delayed.
No, nothing gets delayed. No.
Same here. Yeah, we move our mail pretty good in my station. I'll give management the slightest bit of credit on the idea that we do keep it moving. But if if you've been around for a long time, you know that in the past things were curtailed on a heavy Monday. You said, okay, we can hold back these third class things. Now it all goes. It all seems like it's very orchestrated to be Mondays and Saturdays are suddenly the two heaviest days, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are kind of sparse. So just like your inspection, just like the inspection and the numbers where all the mail all magically showed up, now it's a 365-day a year thing with the mail. Like they are in control of what comes and what goes. You see a catalog that says, it has the little dates up by the corner. It says due for delivery March 25th, 26th, 27th. And that's going out on the 23rd ahead of schedule. Used to be it was 3 weeks late. Now it's a few days early. So they're just pushing stuff. They don't care about what the manufacturer or the printer put on there. It's just it's got to go. It's got to go. And then they press you for the 8-hour day and the 8-hour day by having the mail as light as humanly possible because they're hiding it. They're hiding it just like they were hiding the inspection mail. it's very controllable. It's very it's very unnerving to know how much control they have over it. And then they say, oh, that's just coincidence about the inspection mail. Like, no, it's not. Like, we can tell that lie for so many fucking years.
You guys
So,
are just talking mail right now. I'm talking union. I want to know how powerful my New Yorkers are, brother. And I see that we have a sister in here. Let me ask you guys something. You all came together because you felt disconnected from what your current administration has not been doing for you, according to what you're saying.
Yeah.
How do you feel? And you said there's a lot of people that feel that way as well. How are you going to mobilize you and the remainder of your team? How you feel like you're going to mobilize everybody else to bring them back in? Because there's people in my chat right now saying that they're pulling union dues, not from you guys, but in general. There's a lot of people that are pulling union dues right at this moment. How you guys going to come together and say, you know what? We gonna bring the team back. I know you were just talking about the baseball and the soccer and the Orchard Beach barbecues. That's great. But people say, hey, look, man, we don't want a repeat of what we got in here. You all sound like y'all are the team that Jay would vote for. How you guys gonna get the rest of the New Yorkers to vote for you that's in your clique? Talk to me.
I believe what I want to do, and I'm sure this team, this group of people, this team, the Time for Change, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, the next day after we win, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna plan to go station and go in and talk to the carriers and say how things are doing in here. There's anything that you need, and like I said, there's a taxi environment going on right now in these offices. And I believe that's one of the reasons so many people don't even come to work. We need to fix that. Okay. So by making a plan, go to the station every week. We're going to go to station 1, A, B, C. And we're going to go there and find out what's going on in that station. If we need to crack down on those management, in those offices, to treat with dignity and respect the carriers, to make understand that we mean business, okay? To make understand that we are fighting for the interests of the letter carriers. Like I say, let me tell you this. I was offered way back an opportunity to be a 204B. And they asked me, well, you don't leave the shop store, business shop store. And I say, no, I got some cases pending. Finish it and resign. And I'm going to get you to a station where they could teach you. But you know what? I'm a soldier for life. I'm a carrier.
Good man.
Okay? I don't forget where I came from. Okay. So I want to make sure that my co-workers, my brothers and sisters, be treated with dignity and respect. Okay. So, and hopefully we gotta, like I said, we gotta bring the new generation to start believing in the union so they can continue to work and maintain the morale of the letter carriers and the post office.
Good words. Good words. Guidelines of dignity and respect. That's a huge thing with me going forward. Is guidelines of between management and between the carrier dealing with management, because that shit is running rampantly bad right now.
We have a lady in the room. Watch your potty mouth there, buddy.
Hi, Marie. Excuse my language.
Joseph. That sounds like an Asian name. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's it. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you guys? How are you?
Good.
We are well.
Excellent.
We are well, my friend. We are well.
Thank you.
Good. I'm good. So you are part of this rebellious crew here, yes?
Yes, I am very much.
Yes.
Bringing change to the union, we believe to bringing change to what's going on. We want to, when people looking at us, we want to bring respect back into the institutions, because this is one of the things that we see that we lack. When we go somewhere before, people used to respect the letter carrier. Now we don't have that anymore.
Exactly. Can I give a little story, Jay?
Marie Eve.
Can I give you a little story?
Yes.
About
Absolutely.
2 months ago, my station, Hellgate Station, was a couple of carriers got robbed for their arrow key
Yes.
and at gunpoint. Two of them at gunpoint. Yeah, a guy pulled out a gun and showed them. No one from the current administration came to my station to talk to the other carriers.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Yes.
Then a couple of weeks after that, the manager, she got hurt by a gentleman who walked into the post office and pistol whipped her. And then the
Oh,
union came the next day when she
gee,
got
you know,
attacked. But they didn't come when
that's
our carriers got a gun pulled at them.
Hmm.
uh,
Let
earmuffs.
something let
That's a
something happen
fucking
to
disgrace.
let
So
something
that
happen to
was cool.
management. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, the
problem.
union showed up and we pay union dues.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't happen. They never came once to talk to our carriers to say, okay, guys, because I was on vacation when it happened, but no one came. They didn't talk to nobody, nothing. Brian had to deal with it. Him and our other shop, Tanny, they had to deal with it. And that was a disrespect to us as carriers and also as union members paying union dues that they never came to talk to none of us and console us.
Yeah, I speak to that person directly if they might hear this at some point. You are a fucking disgrace, whoever you are. An
Oof.
absolute embarrassment and a disgrace. And may God be
That's
with you.
that's
And
the
this is
that's the
why,
union people, right? That's
right?
what you're
And this
referring
is
to, the
why,
same
yeah,
union?
Yeah, that's exactly
union
who I'm
people,
referring to. Their
exactly.
union
And this is
leadership that did
why,
not show up after carriers were held up at gunpoint and had their arrow
yes,
keys robbed,
right,
but yet
right,
showed
at
up
all.
after a
Management,
supervisor or management was attacked. They showed up the
right,
following day.
which
Sad.
is
Disgrace.
This is one of the things we want to bring back. We want
right.
to us back because the current
Administration, yeah,
now the carrier don't trust them. So we want
right,
to trust back. We want the carrier when they see us, they know they can depend on us. We there for them.
right.
Because right at this moment we do not have that.
Clearly.
They only show up on Christmas time. That's the only time we see them.
Yes, that's the only
Maybe.
Yes, just
stuff.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Christmas
Yeah.
time. Hmm.
Wow.
What do they want some extra tips from you guys?
Who knows?
No. Customer tips us. No, we didn't know. No, you tip us because we're working so hard for you. Jerk offs. Excuse me.
So I got a question for you, Miss Marie. Um, I know you showed up late, fashionably late. That's okay with us. We were just asking, we were asking them about their temperament, and they told us that you have the worst temper out of all of them. No, I'm kidding. How do you deal with management or your fellow peers, your coworkers, when you run into a situation that's not welcoming? For instance, right now you have Brian Renfro sitting up top. There's a lot of people that really don't care for him.
Yes.
Are you ready if your whole slate gets elected? Are you ready for people to come at you sideways? And how do you deal with that? Are you level-headed? Do you have a hot temper, etc.?
No, I don't have a hot temper. Actually, I'm a very calm person because once you know the contract, you know how to deal with the people. So it's easy to stay calm and act professional. I'm not gonna lose my temper over somebody when I know my right and I know the right of my people and I know the contract. I know what we entitled to. People who lost their temper, it's people who don't know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. I've been a shop steward for over 15 years. I know the contract. I know what we're entitled. I know how the same respect that I'm gonna give you, I deserve it back. And then my carrier, they deserve that respect back too when it's come to things like that. I don't lose my temper over things. People that lose their temper, people that don't know what they're doing. I know what I'm doing. I don't lose my temper.
Oh,
Took me a while to learn that, Marie. Believe me, it took me a while, but I got there.
No.
Marie, that's
sound
not
like
what
it.
they said when you weren't here. I'm not even gonna tell you what they said.
You
Stay
should
out
see
of it.
me. You should see me in action. You never recognize me when I'm in front of them. You'd say like, "Wow, like
Don't get me
what are
wrong.
they?"
When
Here it comes.
it's another story. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
going to walk over me because I know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna I deserve that respect, and I'm gonna demand it.
Demand that respect back. There you go.
Mhm.
There you go.
And
That's how it needs to be.
are you a fighter?
Oh, I'm Haitian. It's in my blood.
Uh-oh.
Fought for their independence, so I'm a fighter. It's
That's
in my.
good.
Yep.
How about
I'm an
you,
Italian Haitian.
Andy? Andy, you a fighter?
Oh, I'm a fighter. I'm gonna fight for everyone's rights.
I hear you. You young. You gotta kind of
Yeah.
carry this on
Yeah.
your back.
Still
I know,
learning, but
Andy. We gotta let you age gracefully a little bit, Andy. I can tell it's gonna be there, but you know,
You got
I
a full head of
understand.
hair still. That's a beautiful
yeah.
thing.
Well, I got a bunch of gray hair already. I'm in my
Oh,
30s.
man.
A bunch of. Did he say really? You know what? I'm about to stop him. Orlando, you a fighter, brother?
Yes, I'm a fighter. Yes, I'm a fighter. Everybody knows in my station, I fight for, like I said, I'm safety officer in my station. So I fight for everything from the place being clean to the dust being dusted of the cases. I fight every day, every week. And sometimes it gets done. Sometimes, they backpedal a little bit, but I fight every day with management.
Good man.
How about you, Wilson? I know you at the end of your tenure. At the end of your tenure, are you
Yeah,
passive, sir? Or are you
but
ready?
I still got it. I'm a fighter, but like the young lady said, Mary, I'm gonna put it this way. Knowledge is power.
Boom.
Knowing your rights and the way you gotta the things work, it gives you the strength to defend yourself and represent other people. You could be professional, or you could be effective. Why? Because you have the knowledge, and that's why I'm all for educating everybody through the Zoom, teaching not just the shop steward, not just the hearing officer, but also all letter carriers. They understand their rights, their duties, and also the process and know the contract and how to the process the grievance, even how they're supposed to conduct a CNI, when they're doing route inspection. Everybody should know. Why? Because when you have everybody, they understand and they have the knowledge, we better prepare. They don't need to be running every second to the shop store. They could read from far, when the contract's been violated. They could even defend themselves. They could speak up by themselves. But now when the things are violated, that's when I say, no, I need my shop steward. Let me go because I want to put agreements. But definitely, I'm a fighter, but I fight a different way that I used to do when I was like Andy, because I'm a little bit more knowledgeable. It takes
Right.
time. It takes time, but
Yeah.
definitely I'm a fighter.
No, I know 3 out of 4 here definitely know this, but I'm going to ask Andy because he's the young buck. Weingarten rights? You know what your Weingarten rights are?
Yes,
I don't. Never heard
Ah, all right.
of it. What is
I
that?
said everybody. I said everybody else in here knows their Weingarten rights, correct? Yeah, I know you guys already. Well, it's not a bad thing that you don't know it, Andy. Most people don't know it until maybe 5-10 years into it. It's very rare that somebody with a little bit of time. So basically, the Weingarten rights are there for you as a union member. If management approaches you and says that they want to see you in the office, you
Mhm.
have every right. You have every right to say to them, will this lead to discipline? Because I would like union representation. And they can try and finagle it. They can try and say, no, this is just an official discussion, so you don't need a union member. You have the right, no matter what, to say to them, I would like to practice my Weingarten rights, and I would like the union shop steward present before I step into that office with you. And they can't get you in there. They cannot get you in there until you have representation. So the
Okay.
proper wording is easily searchable on Google. So I said
Weingarten.
you'll see it word for word. Remember that. Remember that
I
always.
actually know about if they pull you in, you can have your shop steward with you, but I didn't know about that term. That's all.
Terminology.
You're
And
not the
that's what
only
it
one.
is.
A
There you
lot of
About
people.
learning.
Yep.
Matter of fact, this morning I had a service talk with my CCAs about that. So when they get approached by management, the first thing you said, is this gonna lead to
discipline
action? So they said yes, then you request your shop steward, because I cannot go by myself. You have to request for me to come.
Right.
Correct. Yep. That's it.
Like it. I love it.
Anyway.
I love it.
Lots of
So,
reading to do. Lots of reading.
I have one of the most important questions for each and every one of you. New York pizza or Chicago pizza?
New York.
I'm sorry.
New York pizza, of
New
course.
York all the
Put
way.
that in there. New York pizza.
Philly,
I'm gonna say New York for now, because I haven't been to Chicago yet.
Clearly,
Andy,
these
I'm
people
about
haven't
to
been to
pull you
Philly
out of
either.
this.
Philly, I go to a lot.
I got a question seriously though. The CCAs feel left out. You were a CCA just a couple weeks ago, brother. I'm not being funny, literally.
Yeah.
They feel left out. Do you guys protect them the same way? We got a bunch of CCAs in here as well. The non-career workforce. Do you fight as hard for them? That, will you fight as hard for them?
My CCAs, they are part of the family. So we cannot leave nobody behind. The same way I'm going to fight for somebody who has 35 years, I'm going to fight harder for somebody who just get in because they don't know the rules. I'm more into them, then I will fight harder for them, because somebody who has 35 years, they know their right, they know how to approach management, approach them. But the new people, sometimes they feel a little intimidated by management. They don't want to say. So I usually say, just ask for your shop steward. Once you say shop steward, I'm coming, I'm running.
Because Andy there we felt intimidated when, coming around management, he finally broke out his shell. But he's not the only one. This is nationwide. A lot of people, when they first get in there, in my area, in other areas, they don't know who their shop stewards are. And I always refer back to the big cities because y'all are union. But when a lot of places around the country and these new CCAs, these new RCAs, they get into places, they have no idea what their rights are. They have no idea who their shop stewards are. And I'm hoping that the people that are watching, you guys, I'm looking at the other screen. I hope you guys hear this. So when you have the opportunity to step up and be supportive of your fellow brothers and sisters, that you take the same opportunity. It has nothing to do with age. Andy's over there. He says he's 30. We know he's 22. He's still a baby. And we know, but seriously, we need more people to step into the role that are going to be able to identify with what you're going through. See, and Andy can identify what my son goes through, my daughter goes through, because he's in their age group. I can't, because I'm like, why you ain't going? You have to have a smorgasbord of representation. And this is what I see on my screen, a smorgasbord of love. That's what I see. And they need to make sure that even if the different nationalities are not in that specific area that you're in, you have to have at least diversity when it comes down to male, female, different age groups. It matters. It matters. Younger people need to step up. Andy stopped playing video games with me ever since he's been here. It's sickening.
Hey, can I say something?
Absolutely, Wilson.
Okay, it is true. And this is happening in this current administration. And I believe, and I know a lot of CCA have been left out and they feel left out. And I could tell you that's one of the reasons I became a trainer, an OGI, because I remember, 30 something years ago when I was a PTF, how stressful it was, So I want to not just show them how the work is done, but I want to make it easy, the transition of being a CCA into become a PTA for them a regular, because I know it's not easy. You don't get nothing back from me, the OGI, but just the satisfaction that you're teaching somebody just coming into the workforce and you're going to train them to learn what you already know that you master. And that person is going to take over once you left. So they won't get into trouble. Say they won't be desperate and quit the job, because a lot of people at the retention percentage is because it's frustrated. When they come for the first time, they're not used to being thrown and be rushed to the amount of work and the expectation that they get. It's like impossible. It's like going crazy. So I try to help them, to learn how to navigate and how to be patient. Like, when you get this amount of work, once you get used to the route, you get knowledge of the route, and you won't be able to then 8 hours, fill out the 3996. This is what you're supposed to handle it. This is what you're supposed to do. Don't get frustrated just giving the people, but help them not just to learn the job, but also how to navigate through the system so they can make it without getting so frustrated. So it is, yes, they feel that a lot of CCA they're left out. While we're campaigning, we went to a Sunday, one of the stations that they used to deliver Amazon on Sundays. There's only CCAs that goes in there. And when we went there and spoke to a couple of CCA, few CCAs, they don't know what's going on. We were talking about, it's an election time. This is who we are, and we asked the question, when's the last time you saw, this administration coming by and check on you, how you were doing, if you needed anything? Oh, I don't know. Who's the president? They have no idea.
No
So
idea.
they left out there. They have no idea that they left by themselves. So, and that's another reason we need to focus on the CCAs. So they could feel part of this family because they the future of the post office. Okay.
May I add something?
Absolutely. This your floor.
Thank you.
So y'all can get your voice across.
As an OJI to at my station, when my CCA first come to the station, the first thing I do, I give them a service, a tour of the building. So, and then I took them all around, like for half an hour, because I make sure management knows that I have to give them the safety too. It's required.
Yes.
Safety tour with them and show them the building, where the exit are, in case there's something, how you can exit the building, and then take them out. At the end of my training with them, I always have a little survey. I ask them, what would you like me to do better? What do you want me, which part of the training you want me to slow down so you can, if you didn't get it, anything you didn't get, it's my pleasure to repeat it, to do it as for you to get. If I have to do it 100 times, I will ask management for time for you to get it right. So it's not a competition, it's a job. So take your time to learn. I'm a very patient person, so I don't stress them. I don't hurry with them. I take my time. If you need more time to train, I request the more time for you, and I will ask you, do you think you need more time? Are you ready to go on your own? If you tell me you're not ready to go on your own, I request more time to stay with you. I don't leave them alone. And then I always try to get feedback when they at the station after 15 days. How do you feel? Are you comfortable? How they treating you? Every now and then I see them, I said, are they treating you right? So I'm here. If you need me, come to me. Ask me questions. Whatever you need. They have my phone number. We can any on the street call.
As soon as they get in the office, they immediately get my phone number, and I tell them there is no bad question. If you got to ask me multiple times, I'll tell you the answer multiple times. Maybe I'll shake my head a few times about, certain things. I mean, I'm going to be a little short on patience after so many years of answering similar questions, but nonetheless, I make my face known, I make my voice known, and I say, call that number when you need to. Even on my day off, if you're covering my route or you're covering something you don't know, call that number. I will likely 99.9% of the time answer that phone. Very rarely. I've been in other states and answered my phone for work, for carriers and people who needed me. So, that fire in me never goes away. Never.
Another thing I had in the past share with other carriers that been there a longer time, when we get the new carriers, they've been looked at as the help. They co-workers, they brothers and sisters, every time we all should be, willing to teach the new co-workers. You got to take them until you win. I say, if you think they're doing something wrong, because they're not going to learn everything in one day. Maybe you do a OJI training for 24 hours, 16 hours, what it might be in your district. But it takes longer than that to learn the job. So every carrier, all the carrier being there, when they see they're doing something wrong, just take the moment. It's a teachable moment. Listen, brother, this is not how you do it. This is how you do it. So I believe every carrier has a responsibility to take under the wing the new carriers that come in and teach them the way and the way the job is done. That's just my opinion. Everybody might not agree, but I believe everybody it should be a leader. And when they see a brother that just got on the job, and they see they're doing something wrong, just teach them how to do it.
Correctly, right. And also too, be approachable. Like anytime a new CCA comes to my station, since I'm the safety officer, I make it my business. Like Marie, I give them a tour around the building, show them the exits. I show them, I introduce them to everybody in the station. I also teach them that, show them who the shop stewards are and make sure that everybody in the station is approachable. I make sure that I let them know, like, if you need something, come to me. There's no, like you said, Tooch, that there's no wrong question, there's no right question. Anytime you need something, I'm here for you. Because like Wilson said, those are our brothers and sisters of the future. So we have to make sure we make this transition as easy as possible for them, so that way they can stay and they're the future of the post office and make sure they're happy when they come to work. And that's my job. I always make sure that they lift correctly, but a lot of people don't bend their knees when they're picking up stuff. I see them sometimes carrying two tubs or two trays of mail. I said, no, you carry one. Your safety is priority in the post office. You have to make sure you're healthy. And that's how I go about it every day.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a marathon.
Yeah, it's a marathon.
It's a long time.
Yep.
Wilson, you're a lucky guy to be close to the end. I'll get congratulations on being close to the end, brother.
Yes.
I got a little ways to go still, but
Hey,
Jay, can I throw one last? Can I throw one last quick question at them, Jay? Are we still good on time?
Yeah,
I promise it'll be all right. I promise it'll be a quick one. Okay, in terms of what we discussed earlier about engagement by the union and the lack thereof in terms of people coming in the door, you guys are doing your thing. You guys are giving your numbers out. You're saying that who your current people are doing everything they can to keep a separation, like to not let you guys get in those meetings at the 5 p.m. bullshit, which is ridiculous. I also want to say that, on top of the, separation with the union, do you also have a situation where your management will try and keep the new people away from you, knowing that the rules inside and out? That they don't want you to be the OJI because they know to take your lunches, take your breaks. That is what they do with yours truly. They want to keep people as far away from me as they can because I'm not OJI. I'm not OJI, but one way or another, I go up to them and I say, "Hi, I'm Matt. I'm Chooch." I said, "Here's my number. Use this whenever you need to, and I'll check in and I'll do everything I can." But if management gets their hooks in and they get to see, like, oh, well, the management is being more friendly than him or her on, that are the carriers. And I said, and that's the problem. You need all the carriers to want to be a little bit more welcoming and engaging. Some people just keep to themselves. Some people aren't really people persons. Me, I love everybody. I'll talk to the fly on the wall. So, that's what you need more of. But management will try to make the carrier believe that they're the trainer, that they tell you how to carry mail. And it's like, no, you don't listen to anything they tell you about carrying mail because 99% of the time they have never carried mail these days, or they forgot what it was to carry mail. So you don't take your cues from them. You take it from your fellow carriers. Do you guys ever felt like you're in that situation, any of you, where they were trying to play a game of keep away from you? Or do you feel like that, they're welcomed?
When I was a
You guys are
CCA,
known.
they didn't really try to separate me from everyone. If anything, they'll have everyone would try to help me.
They were just running your ass all over the place, right?
Yeah, right. Because I was gonna ask you how were your CCAs trained then? If they were trying.
Well, I said, like I said in the beginning, before we came on the video, I just had a little chat with you guys about the retention rate in my area. 300 out of 3,000 when it was a CCA, and the
Wow.
CCAs are still happening in certain stations, but not in my station because they realized real quick that we had a problem, and it was because they just it was just overworking. There was not enough engagement. The management was, obviously, and we were getting handoffs from other stations, from carriers who were problematic at a station elsewhere, were suddenly appearing in our station. We weren't supposed to have that knowledge that they were coming in from somewhere, but seemed to have no problem sharing that information, that people were coming in after they had already kind of failed at a station elsewhere, as if they were going to come into our station and suddenly we were going to turn them into a success story. You kind of know this isn't for everybody. This is a very, very tough living. It's a very tough job. It's not for everybody.
Yeah, it
So,
is.
of course, the retention rate does speak for itself in certain instances, but not 300 out of 3,000. Clearly, that's a management problem, that starts with them and their treatment of human beings, and that we're not robots. So that's essentially what I wanted to see if everybody was dealing with a separation anxiety kind of thing. But nonetheless, again, it's great to hear that everybody is engaged, everybody's doing their part, and you guys are welcoming people in, as and giving them communication that they need. So very admirable on everybody's part. I appreciate that very much.
I've known in the past, CCAs have told me that management told them that regular your friends because they're mad at you guys because you're stealing their overtime. Which is 100% not true.
Forgot about that.
Which is 100% not true. Okay. And this is why, like you said, this is why they separate them from us.
They said it. That's true. Yep.
Divide to conquer. So they try to create chaos, and divide us so they could manipulate us better. That's so true.
What I found that works for me at my station, every week I have a service talk with all the carrier and the CCAs all together. And then
that's great.
And I make sure I tell my carrier that I'm not gonna be here, so you in charge of them, so to make sure that they're okay, don't let them get abused. And I have one of the great stations, Trinity Station, so everybody work together and they take care of the CCAs. They don't, like, if they see them doing something, man, that's not how you do it. You don't work like that. You work smart. Don't, this one you're gonna get hurt. Don't do it like this, just like that. Everybody is involved in my station.
Let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
What is the name of your slate? Who's the president running for president?
Carlton.
What's his last name?
Carlton Pinto.
Carlton Pinto.
Carlton Pinto.
Yes.
Vice President?
Brian Gutierrez.
Brian. All right. So I don't know who's in my chat here, but
he's executive vice president, and there's the first vice president and second vice president.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Can you just write these names down? We have, who's the first one? The president, the one running for president? Carlton, right?
Carlton Pinto.
Carlton Pinto. Then we got Brian,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then continue.
We have Ralph Feliciano.
These are the names that are going to be on that roll, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Ralph Feliciano.
Tyree Vega.
We have John Morey.
Yeah. I don't know where my people at. They're here somewhere.
Yeah.
And you all are the alternate officers, is that correct, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're the part-time officers.
Yep, the part-time.
Good. And the main thing that, like, I wanted to get the message across is that I believe today is what, Wednesday? Thursday, you all are going to be, that should probably be the last day that they're voting, right? So at least that'd be the last safe day for them to vote or mail things out.
Yes.
Yep.
How you guys feel so far? You feel like?
Oh, we feel very confident.
Pretty confident.
Yes. I have a very high confidence that we're going to win this. I feel it in my bones.
Yes.
Yeah.
The win's going to be huge. I did it again.
We hope so.
Jay, you know why I'm telling that? Because every time we go out there to station to share with the carriers in the other station, we get a good response. People want change. People tired of this thing going on for a long time. Okay, so that's why I know that we're gonna win it. He said the majority, I would say 3 or 4 out of 5 people, they want to see change because it's been going on for a long, long time. With this administration, they don't show the face. They don't really fighting hard enough for us. It's like it's like they forgot. They got too complacent and they forgot about the membership.
Right.
Okay,
It's
so
they work for
everybody
us.
agree we need time for change. It is time for change. And with people, when they have doubt, I say, listen, I ask them, what did they have done lately for you? Okay? You don't know this new group. Maybe you don't know this group, but we need change. Give us an opportunity. If 3 years from now we don't do anything, vote us out. Get all the people. But definitely we need change. If this is not working, why keeping it? So we had an opportunity to have a change, to do things right. So just give us a chance. It is time for change. Vote row B.
I know that's right.
Vote row B.
For change.
Vote row B. Everybody hear that? Vote row B.
Yeah.
I got one other question. It's a personal favor from me. Ready for it?
Yes.
Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves.
It's really not for me. It's y'all reached out. You getting your message out. I love your message. There's people that are sitting in Texas that do not know how to do what you do, what you just did. If I ever needed to reach out to one of you and put you in contact with somebody that said, hey, I love what you guys did. I want to start to be the one to make a change here. I don't know how. Would you be willing to talk to somebody and at least point them in the right direction?
Oh, definitely.
We love that.
100%. Yes.
I would love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For the
That's
whole
that.
country, we would like to do it. The whole country
Yep.
will do it.
Because the whole country's watching. And there are people that are sitting there saying, well, this is New York, this is New York, this is New York. It ain't got to be just New York.
No.
It could be everywhere.
40.
It's about changing the culture.
Yes.
That's right.
Definitely.
And
50 states.
I asked the question for everybody that's watching me that says, you know what? I don't feel confident enough. They weren't comfortable talking, but now I'm asking the question to them for you. I said, for them, I asked them, would they be willing to at least point you in the right direction on how to start to make that change that you want to see? It's called networking, and they're willing to do it. I don't want to hear nobody bullshit excuse on why you can't. You don't know how. I'm putting you in touch with people that know how.
Thank you.
And I truly appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
You don't mind if I say something in Spanish?
Please do.
Because I have some carriers that, like me, English is not a first language, but they feel comfortable in the language, which is Spanish. I just want to say a couple of words to those people, if you don't mind, if it's okay.
English not my first language either. I tell my boss that whenever he walks in. English not my first language, papi. Go ahead, talk to me, brother.
Okay.
No speaking Americano.
Nuestros hermanos y hermanas de Branch 36, tenemos la oportunidad ahora de hacer cambios positivos para la membresía. Por favor, voten row B. It's time for change. Row B.
Can I say
I got all that.
Can I say something? Hello?
Go right ahead.
In
Go right ahead,
Creole?
Marie.
You gonna speak in Creole?
Oh.
I'll translate to them.
Pa mande tout moun nan branche 36 en 36, s'il vous plaît, votez pour nous. Votez, rangez BA. C'est lui qui pi bon. C'est nous-mêmes qui va le goumen pour vous. S'il vous plaît. B. Merci beaucoup. Que bon Dieu bénisse.
I got please,
I like
please,
that.
and thank you. I know that part because I got 2 years of French in high school.
It's French.
She said, y'all better vote for her. She's gonna cook some of that black rice and make sure y'all hooked up when you have the barbecues. That's right.
With griot.
The Creole?
Griot.
Creole.
Real.
The fried.
Okay. How about you there, Andy? South Side. Let's talk. What you
Go
gotta say?
B. We're gonna change the whole dynamic.
Okay, we'll buy that for $1. We're gonna break you out that shell there, young man. Orlando.
Yes. Vote for change. Vote for Roe B. There's no other one and no other way.
I love it. When I come to New York, each of y'all need to bring me, you need to bring me to go get some Spanish food. You need to bring me to Chinatown, and then we're
Yep.
gonna go get some Asian food.
Yeah.
Orlando.
I'm in Spanish Harlem, so I got all the spots for you. Don't worry.
Oof.
Oh, Spanish.
Like a bunch of Chinatowns now in New York
I
City.
can get so man good, Jay.
I can't go to Spanish Harlem. I got issues from my past life over there. Talk about it.
They got pictures of them up everywhere. Yep. Don't let those men in.
That's where I got my first tattoo in Spanish Harlem. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love what y'all doing. Anybody want to say something in closing? Anybody? This is
Floor's
your
yours,
floor.
guys. Floor's yours.
Okay, it's been a journey and been an honor to working with this group. I did it 3 years ago. It was hard. It was the first time we did it. I guess we all learned, and we got blackballed, but now I think we're doing it better. We're better organized, and we got help. And to me, it's an honor to be working with this group because I could tell we're on the same page. We understand this membership has been suffering for a long, long time. And somebody needs to rise up and take the lead and fight and represent and protect. And that's what this group is doing. Okay. And it's going to do. Time for change. I'm truly, honestly believe it that this is the right people. And that's why I ask the carriers that I talk to, if they have any doubt, if you feel that we've been abandoned by this administration, just give us a chance. Give us those 3 years to prove you that we're gonna be fighting for you all the way to the end.
I love it.
Well said.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Chooch, you want to close out for me?
Yes, sir. Thank you, everybody, for your perspective. Thank you for doing what you are doing. It's very, very inspiring. Makes me want to keep on going like I've been doing for all these years. And I have no means of slow down in me. I don't know what quit means. And I want Andy, I want you to take that note and just keep learning and stick with these guys. And please
Fine.
contact me. I'm going to I'm going to get my email to you guys. And like Jay does, because he gets flooded with probably 600 million emails, taking on all these emails by himself, I'm going to get myself out there, give him a little breather from having to answer every last question people have. So I will do that for you guys. And I'd love to be able to, and I'm only hopping and skipping away down the interstate. So, like I said, love New York, love what you guys are doing. And I certainly would hope to shake all your hands one day too. So, God bless. And
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
See, we didn't chew your heads off, right? We were no nerves up in here.
Postal family, I just want y'all to remember, you don't remember nothing else here. You have a network. I'm just a center guy. I know nothing about delivering mail, but I got family everywhere. Jay got family everywhere. I tried to told you. That is bad English. I tried to told you. If y'all need them, email Chooch. All right. I love y'all. Y'all be good. This is JH, and we are out.
See you. Peace.
See you.
Peace.
Take care, guys.
What's changed?
Right.